Let me start this off by saying that this is only my personal top 5 favorite racing games of all time, not of every single racing game ever, because I haven't played every single racing game ever. With that disclaimer out of the way, let's get right into number 5. And number 5, Need for Speed Carbon. This game isn't too bad, but it's not that great either, which goes to show how many racing games I've played in my life, which I think is maybe 20? I haven't played a lot of racing games, so yeah, but I haven't played every single one in my house. I have a few that I haven't played, which we'll get into in a later date, but right now we're talking about this game, which, by the way, did I tell you it's flawed? Yeah. So the flaws come in 2 different ways. The first being that the race wars over in TFK suck. I couldn't beat it in one day. I had to take a whole week just to beat that one race wars, and I didn't even beat it clean. I used infinite nitrous. And the second flaw about it is it doesn't hold a candle to the original Need for Speed Most Wanted. Because seriously, it's too easy. Even though I just said that one part was hard, it's just too easy. It takes a day and a half to beat if you're skilled at that one race wars. And it just, I don't think it's that great for I just don't think it's that great for replayability, honestly. I mean, it's alright. It's just not my favorite thing in the world. But it makes it onto this list because it's way better than most games, and it's still a Need for Speed game from the original series, which makes me happy to see. I mean, I like to play the beginning stages where you take on whatever you take on. I usually go with the Camaro SS, so I'm usually set against Angie at the beginning. And those courses are fun. I like playing them. And so the game is fun at its beginning stages. Once you get to TFK and over to Darius's, I can't think of their name. Stacked Deck. It's Stacked Deck. Stacked fucking Deck. Gotta remember that. Actually, don't have to remember that, honestly. But in any case, it's still fun to play sometimes, just depending on how my mood is and how I really want to play my games. If I want it to be fucking hard or fucking easy, or in between, where it's easy for the most part, but one race just dicks you over for a whole week and you can't defeat the fucking game no matter how much you want to try to defeat the game, but you just can't. Anyway, it's alright. That's why it's number 5. Number 4, Flat Out 2. So like every game on this list, this game came out when I was super little. So, nothing held my attention for more than 5 minutes. My die-cast cars? Hell, I'll just smash those fuckers up, and that only took me down for like 10 minutes before I got distracted by the TV and watching me some SpongeBob. Or, when I play video games, I mostly just play them for like 5 minutes before getting bored and switching to another game, then getting bored and switching to another one, until my dad just says, hey, you shouldn't do that, and you should just go away. He never said that, actually. My dad's a nice dad about that. He's really tolerant with me. I love you, Dad. You're cool. You really put up with a lot of bullshit back then. Damn, I'm gonna text him right now just saying I'm sorry. Anyway, off of that little emotional moment, this game came in at its most opportune time to hold my attention for 5 minutes because of demolition derbies. Back when I was a kid and my family took me to little trips, I didn't really get to stay down for more than 5 minutes without complaining about when are we gonna go home, and then I could play my video games for 5 minutes and then not sit down anymore. I was actually taken to a real demolition derby at our fair, and I didn't really care that much, mostly because I didn't know who anyone was, and I didn't know who to root for. I just rooted for this black car, who didn't win. He got eliminated pretty early, actually. And I won't say that I'm sad, because I wasn't. I just wasn't involved or invested in this whole demolition derby. But Flat Out 2 had demolition derbies that you could play in, with the same 7 other characters. Which is fine, because then I can get invested in it and say that I love Jack Benton, and I can say, fuck you, Sophia Martinez, you cunt! Can't beat her in demolition derbies in the street class. It's kind of pathetic. But then again, I always choose a weak-ass car, too. Maybe that's why. So, the game is mostly about smashing cars and making people get out of their cars by smashing them into trees, which is actually really satisfying and fun when you actually do it. Because it takes a lot of skill to smash people into trees. Actually, it doesn't. Sorry about my cat back there. She's really bitchy today. I don't think she likes when I'm loud. What? Jesus, cat. I'm sorry. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. The gameplay is pretty simple in it. Nothing really too extravagant. You have your button to move, to brake, to steer, and your boost. Seems about normal, which is alright, because it's easy to understand as a little kid and as a teenager, because I still play this game. I was just recently playing the career mode, and it's still kind of fun to play. Even though I still can't do these stunts worth of shit. I don't know how Sally's so good at the high jump, but I can't get above 120. Oh, I hate that one so much. And that's the first ever one that you have to do, too, and I can't do it. I just can't. I can't. But the game, it's still fun. It still has a lot of replayability, and the career isn't like a solid kind of story mode. It's just you racing cars to get to the trophies and money to upgrade them cars, which is pretty cool. The only thing I wish that you could do is that you could use your career cars into exhibition mode stuff and not have to deal with the stock cars, which is probably why I lose a lot in exhibition actually, because everything's stock and there's just modded. But that doesn't really matter too much. You still have a fair chance to win every single time, which is cool. So this game makes it to number 4, and I know it's a hell of a jump from number 5 to number 4. So just know that if there was a top 10 list, actually, Carbon would have been way down there. Flatout 2 probably would have stayed at 4. Number 3. Baja, Edge of Control. You probably saw in a post edit that I put under the hard category, Baja, this game, Edge of Control. And holy shit, is it hard. After you get like past the first race, it's just relentless on you, no matter what class you're on. You just have to start this modded Volkswagen. No. You can't tell me this is a Volkswagen. This is a Volkswagen because it's a Beetle, but this thing is not a Volkswagen. You can't convince me. I won't take it. Not for $1, not for $10, maybe for $100, but not for $1 would you convince me that that is a Volkswagen. Thank you very much. Anyway, the game is mostly about dirt track racing with the game is mostly dirt track racing with a variant of different things to choose from. I won't say cars because they're not the cars. I mean, you have your trucks, okay? You have your full-size trucks and your trophy trucks and your Beetles and your Jeeps. But the rest of them I just called dirt things because I don't know what the hell else to call them. Dirt track cars? I don't know. I don't have the time to think of this. But this game is fun if you like to have a difficult experience along with your racing. I can name a few races where I just couldn't beat it for the life of me. Like there's this one where people start ahead of you and you have to like get the best time at certain checkpoints, which I didn't know. I always assumed that I'd be first across the line regardless of how I started. So I restarted a lot of times not knowing that I was actually winning. And when I found that out, you would imagine I was pissed. Many a keyboard was tossed around that day. But this game to me, it's still a fun experience. That is, if I want something challenging, actually. And yeah, that's all I have to really say about it. It's a solid experience if you want difficulty. Number 2, Forza Horizon. So this is another kind of significant jump from 3 to 2. Mostly because these next two are just my all-time favorite racing games ever. Like, I replay these games all the fucking time. So, I'm talking about the original Forza Horizon, let's be clear here. Number 2 and 3, they can kiss my ass. This one, it's a fun one because it's kind of a break from the other Forza Motorsport games, which if you don't know, it's closed track kind of racing. And you have like a preset of different like parts to choose from. You don't really have much creativeness in designing your car until the later Forza Motorsport games. And this one gave a really good break to it. I'm very happy with it. And so with this one, it's sort of closed circuit. They have like determined tracks for you to go around, but it's across a map of Colorado, which to me, I don't think is very accurate, because I don't see no Rocky Mountains in this Colorado. Unless it's like a smaller town, or like maybe a couple counties mixed together. Oh my god, last distraction for my cat, I hope. So this game makes you start from nothing and have to work your way up, which is pretty cool. I like that kind of premise that gives you motivation to actually go up the ranks and go from what this one is a weird kind of rating system for your cars. It starts off with E, D, C, B, A, S, R1, no, R3, R2, R1, R1 being the best, E being the worst. This game is extremely fun for me to play. I replay it all the time because it's a super simple game that doesn't take like only a day to beat like Carbon. And it gives you some sort of motivation to beat all of these arrogant pricks who stand on your way between you, Darius, and that sweet trophy that you don't see. You just get $8 million and a lot of paparazzi at the end, with Darius looking like a fucking idiot standing by his car. Which, that's fun. That's really cool. I don't know, it's just one of those games that's super addicting that I don't think anybody else really likes, but it's just one of my all-time favorites to play. So, that's why it's number 2. Sorry this isn't getting good reasons, but that's why. And finally over at number 1, we have Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005. This game is just my all-time favorite racing game of all time. There is no in-betweens. There is no second guessing it. When I created this list, I already put number 1, Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005, and the rest of them, I took like 10 more minutes trying to decide which ones it were. But this game like cemented its place in my heart so much, it's like, I can't not put this at number 1. And I was thinking logically about it as to why I actually liked it. And I was just making sure it wasn't nostalgia that was making me like this game, and just trying to figure out if I actually disliked it secretly and just tried to pretend that I liked it all these years. But turns out I do like it. The gameplay is flawed somewhat. I won't get into it here. If I do like a review of this game in the future, I'll definitely get into it. But there's definitely that kind of shade that this was definitely made in 2005. No way around it. I think one of my bigger complaints is the storyline. But it's like, it's 2005, and gang things are kind of in as a trend, like street gangs. And then there's also this weird filter over the cutscenes that I don't think you really needed in. I think it just compressed space on the disc to allow them to put those cutscenes in. But that kind of like tint on it really annoyed me. I just didn't like it. It didn't look good on it. But then again, it's a really, really old game. So I'm just thinking 2005. It's 2005. Just chill the hell out. Anyway, it goes on the same system that I mentioned in Forza Horizon, where it is you have to work your way up, but this one's like from the absolute bottom, whereas Forza Horizon gave you a C class out of what it could have gave you an E class, but it didn't. It started off with a C, and in this game, it basically gives you a terrible car. You have 3 different cars to choose from. I always choose a Cobalt, because I beat the game with Cobalt, actually. Another complaint, you shouldn't be able to beat the game with your starter car. That's just me, though. I think other people like it, but I just don't think it's good enough for that. So, now, on to the gameplay. The gameplay and the racing is pretty fun. It does get a bit hard at one point. Hard as in, like, it's in the middle of the game. Not even the middle. You get to blacklist number 9 out of 15, and you already... like, it's starting to get super hard, depending on what car that you have. And the blacklist number 9 guy I have to beat is so hard. It's ridiculous. Like, a study even showed that... it wasn't a study. It was just some random fan who said this. But it turns out he can go top speed around any corner, while as I have to go, like, 50 around every corner because I can't turn worth a shit. So the game doesn't leave without its flaws, but it's still extremely fun to play, honestly. The pursuits is what the game is mostly revolving around, and the pursuit system is really good in this one. If anything, it's my personal favorite pursuit system of all time. It carried over to Carbon too, but Carbon wasn't focused on the pursuits as of the racing, where this one is kind of equal upon both, but you can definitely tell there's a little bit more of a bias towards the pursuits, which I liked. The pursuits are pretty fun. Definitely worth it to pull off, and making me want to throw my controller at a wall and break the drywall, over losing a pursuit. God, I hate losing pursuits. But this game is definitely making me invested in just the series itself over the span of 4 different Need for Speed games that I believe were the best. This one is definitely the best out of all Need for Speed games. I just love it. So that is my personal top 5 favorite race games of all time. Sorry if the reasons were not that good, if I rambled on a little bit too long on these. Right now, the audio position is saying I'm at 20 minutes of recording, so this will be fun to kind of chop down. I hope the video wasn't too long for you guys, and you just watched through it all. Sorry if it got a little bit too long, or just too lengthy. So, up next coming is going to be my top 5 worst racing games of all time. And later on I'm going to do 2 different reviews. One of them I'm going to keep secret for now until the worst list comes out, and the second being the Criterion games, or Criterion Need for Speed games rather. After Need for Speed 2005, they created 3 different Need for Speed games that all sucked ass equally. And one of them has like just a special grudge in my heart that makes me want to kill everybody who worked for Criterion at the time. Anyway, that's all I gotta say for this video. Thank you all for watching. New gameplay out soon too, forgot to mention that. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.